In August 13th of 1997, a show came debuting on Comedy Central that we all come to know and love. It started out kind of lame, but still funny, and now it is larger than life. Yes, I am talking about South Park.
Nerd is the new sexy.
Hello, this is Wyldfyre1, and with me is
Gambit, as always.
And this is episode 31 of Nerd is the New Sexy. Welcome. As I was saying, we are talking about South Park this episode.
South Park.
And as you know, what brought it up was the fact that South Park, The Fractured Butthole, is coming out. And that it's actually The Fractured Butthole.
Yeah, you got to say it's two words. Yeah, it's the word is actually Butwhole. So they're saying we're fractured, but we're whole. Yeah. But they do it in great South Park slang by putting
the mannerism to where it's a fractured butthole. So your butthole's fractured. Anyway,
your butthole, which is great to be at work. All the time, saying you want to pick up South Park or the fractured butthole. It just gives me an excuse to say fractured butthole at work all the time.
You want a fractured butthole?
You want a fractured butthole? We got that. We got that butthole fractured for you.
You know, there's plenty of fractured butthole to go around. But yeah, that's kind of I seen it was coming out. And we'll get to that soon enough. But let's talk about South Park in general. You know, Matt and Trey, right?
Matt Stone and Trey Parker.
Matt Stone and Trey Parker.
The geniuses who make this show happen. When we were talking about it off the podcast, it all started with the Christmas episode.
Oh, yeah. It all started with
it was episode. And how they all start, you know, it was wonderfully cheesy and campy and terrible, you know, but it was awesome. I loved it. I thoroughly enjoyed. I enjoyed watching the first episode because it was all about like Jesus fighting Santa Claus.
Yeah, that's what it was. It was Jesus fighting Santa Claus.
Jesus fighting Santa Claus. Which, I mean, how do you not love that already? Like, how does that not sound like a good idea to you? Like,
which is an epic battle, is what it is.
Right. Well, I mean, that goes into their personality when you really get into it. It's like, okay, this is their personality. This is the kind of guys they are. This is the kind of stuff they want to make. And it started off from there. And it's like, I mean, really, when you watch that first episode, you're like, oh shit, where do they go from here?
Because what's next? Yeah.
Right. And it's like, and the more you watch it, the more you realize is like the thing about South Park, which drives me crazy, is everybody's like, oh, it's stupid humor. It's like, I don't think we're watching the same show, dude.
Well, like, a lot of it is crude, but it's also very intelligent humor.
Yeah, I say that all the time. I've said it for years. South Park is very on point, political, racial, and religious, political, and like just American satire all the time. So they take what was happening in America, and then they
make it funny.
They boil it down to the dumbest possible way, but they make it funny, and that's why. So when you watch the show and you actually watch like one of the greatest episodes that really just kind of sums up my whole philosophy on how great South Park really is and how intelligent it really is when they did the PC episode in the newest season. Have you seen this episode?
No, I haven't. I haven't seen the new season.
So the new season, you have PC Principal, and he's bringing PC Everything. So it's basically the PC Everything. And there's actually a frat house that is politically correct, the PC house. And it's so funny because like the guys in the frat house are like, they're like, yeah, I'm really enjoying talking to you. So listen, they're total frat boy douchebags, but they're like, so listen, I'm gonna totally need permission to pound your snoosh tonight. If you could just sign this. If you could just sign this consent form that said that you're okay with me pounding your snooch, that'd be great. And it's just like, it's because that's where America's going with this PC shit. Like you have to be so safe and so protective, and you can't offend anybody, and you can't do this. So South Park takes their political stance on a subject, something that could really offend people, and then they just make it goofy and silly, and then you laugh about it, and it's like that's
the beauty of what they do, you know. The whole one of my favorite episodes. Actually, we'll get to the favorite episodes thing here in a minute. But it started like I said, really campy. The show did, and it kind of evolved, you know. And then finally, it came out with a movie, which was a fucking amazing movie.
Wonderful movie. The movie was South Park, bigger, longer, and uncut.
Oh, that's right.
Which, again, in true South Park fashion, they're talking about a giant dick.
Yeah, which they almost
bigger, longer, and uncut.
If I remember correctly, I read somewhere that they had an issue with the original name. I can't remember what the original name was. It was kind of another play on words, but it was more pornographic and in your face. And so they did this, and the people were like, okay, yeah, bigger, longer, and uncut. That's fine. And then they realized what it meant, and they're like, oh, nope, too late. You signed a contract, bitches.
Nope. Yeah, we got you, bitches. This is happening.
So, and the movie was good. I mean, the characters in South Park in general are very fun. You got Tweak, you got Butters, you've got Cartman, you have all the other characters.
Well, first, let's get to the original since we're still in the beginning. Let's go to the adolescent phase of it. Yeah. In the adolescent phase of it, you had 4 boys. You had 4 boys living in a small mountain town, Colorado, which is hilarious because I live in Colorado. There is a real South Park.
There is. In fact, it's about 3 hours away from where Sunrie used to live.
Yeah, it's about 2 hours away from me. And they have a lot of festivals out there, and most of the people that live there absolutely hate if you go there asking if Cartman lives there. They fucking can't.
Yeah.
Don't do it. Just don't be that guy.
Don't be that.
Don't be that guy. Don't be that guy.
Yeah.
So, but it's really funny because it's funny because when I watched the show all the time, I would they would do a lot of references to Colorado and stuff that are specifically to Colorado. The episode that made me lose my mind. Casa Bonita. My aunt did not understand why I freaked out so hard because so I get to Colorado, I move out here, and my cousin's at Casa Bonita. And I didn't know that. She's like, hey, my aunt's like, hey, can you go pick up your cousin from Casa Bonita? And I was like, wait, what? I was like, and she goes, no, yeah, they're having a birthday party at Casa Bonita. I was like, wait, say that one more time. Casa Bonita? And she's like, yeah. I was like, I feel like Cartman. I got so excited. I was like, this place fucking exists. I gotta go see it. Is it really Cliff Divers? It's just I lost my mind. I was like, is it really Cliff Divers? And it's probably one of the worst Mexican places you'll ever do.
Oh no, it's like Chuck E. Cheese meets a Mexican restaurant.
Yeah,
there is a Cliff Divers. There is. I was there when we went to Colorado when I was there for Sunrise's wedding. There is a Cliff Divers. There is a show every 30 minutes, and it's so cheesy and funny though. It's hilarious.
Yeah, it really is just not the best thing ever made.
Oh, it is the best thing ever made, but it's so campy and stupid.
It is. It's so campy. So there's a lot of this. So yeah, South Park is a real thing. So anyways, the boys are in South Park, and it's this crazy backwards hick town. I mean, it really is. It's a very small town. If you're growing up in a small town, everybody knows everybody. Everybody knows everybody's business. And when the first couple of seasons were really, let's talk about the production value of it. It was not very
horrible.
Good. I mean,
it still is.
It was paper mache. It was paper mache, and it was stop motion cameras.
Yeah,
it was not good. They've really upgraded their game now. When you watch the new episodes compared to the old ones, it's like, holy shit, this is a wholly different.
There's even 3D shit in there. It's actually really it's come a long way.
It really has. And so in the first couple episodes, it's just about these 4 boys, and they had their own running jokes. Screw you guys, I'm going home from Cartman. Kenny always died.
Yeah.
And Stan and Kyle always did an ending monologue at the end of every episode telling them about what they learned. I learned something today.
Yeah.
It was like their catchphrase. I learned something today.
Or kick the baby, with Ike.
Because Stan was always, I learned something today, and Kyle always backed him up, and Kyle's was kick the baby.
Yeah.
Kick the baby. Don't kick the baby. Kick the baby.
He always kicked his little brother Ike, which was hilarious. And Ike was half or fully Canadian or something like that.
Yeah, he's fully Canadian, which is just hilarious because the way they do Canadians and their flapping heads is fucking hysterical. The show first came out, and it was just I was hooked from season 1. I remember watching it, and again, it came out in 1997. I don't know, do some math. I was 13, so it was crude potty humor. So I didn't see the intelligence in it. I just saw the dick and fart jokes, which I thought were hilarious because my 13-year-old boy doesn't laugh when he hears boner. And I still laugh when I hear.
Which they said boner quite a bit.
They said boner all the time.
Well, chicken fucker and stuff like that. Come on.
Oh man.
And Chef. Let's not forget about Chef.
Oh, Chef, the original character Chef. Oh, which was played by Isaac Hayes. Which they did him so dirty when he left.
Well, he kind of did them dirty too.
Yeah. Well, do you know the politics behind why he left the show?
Yeah, it was about the whole. It was about his religion.
Yeah, Isaac Hayes is a Scientologist.
Well, hold on, we'll start with this. We usually don't get into religion or politics, but this is kind of a big part of
this is a huge thing.
So we're not giving our thoughts on what happened. We're just giving you the facts.
No, this is just the facts.
Disclaimer.
So the facts. Yeah, disclaimer. The facts are this. The facts are that Isaac Hayes is a Scientologist. The South Park creators, Matt Stone and Trey Parker, believe that nothing is sacred. I mean, they make fun of Mormonism, they make fun of Christianity, they make fun of everything.
Republicans, everything.
Exactly. They make fun of everything. Nothing is sacred to these guys. Like, there is no such thing as, like,
why I love them. That's why I love that show.
That's why I love them too, and I think that's why a lot of people love them, because nothing is sacred. There is no well, we can't joke about this. Why not? We joke about everything else. Let's joke about this.
Yes, exactly. In fact, some of the episodes got banned because of that, but we'll get to that soon enough.
Yeah. So then you get the episode in question, which is where they blast Scientology, which was a fucking hilarious episode.
Oh God, yes.
It was such a if you guys haven't seen it, go watch the Scientology episode. It's fucking hilarious. So they blast Scientology, and Isaac Hayes was really, really uncomfortable with the way they did everything. He literally came out and
killing
said,
his religion, so to speak.
Basically, yeah. They're like, you really, and he said, like, again, this is just all, I don't want to go with hearsay because, you know, I wasn't in the room with Matt Stone and Trey Parker. I don't know what they said. But the idea was that he was upset about the religious episode of South Park doing Scientology, and he decided to leave the show. After he left, they just ripped into him.
There was one particular episode, because they killed his character.
Yeah, they killed his character.
There's one particular episode they couldn't use. Of course, he refused to voice act for him after that.
Exactly.
So what they did was they used bits and pieces of the past voices he's done and put them together and killed him.
well, because here's the thing: like when you watch the episode, you're like, okay. So again, I don't know because I'm not personal. So I'm gonna get a little bit personal here. This is the first time I think I'm ever gonna do it, but you're gonna have to forgive me for this. The thing about it is the way it sounds to me is like he calmly, this is just my opinion, again, disclaimer. It sounds like he had a problem with the show, left amicably. The boys, Matt Stone and Trey Parker, were like, yeah, we'll just kill the character off. This part is fact. After they killed his character, he did a lot of interviews talking shit about Matt Stone and Trey Parker.
Yeah.
Then he came out and started doing a lot of sour grapes about how a lot of episodes he wasn't comfortable with, and they talked him into it, and they forced him into it, or whatever else. I call so much horse shit on that too. And when you watch these interviews, you literally can go back and watch these interviews on YouTube, and it just sounds like sour fucking grapes. It just sounds like the dude is pissed off because he left the show or whatever, and they killed his character, and they didn't use his voice. Again, this is all speculation on my end. So what then Matt Stone and Trey Parker decided to do at that point was like, all right, fuck you, dude. We're going to make your character a pedophile, and then you're going to die. Like,
I didn't see that episode. I heard about it, but I never seen it.
Oh, yeah. They make Chef part of Nambla and make.
Oh, yeah, I've heard. Okay, I heard about that.
Yeah, it was a, and then they like, so it was a great way for them to rip on Nambla. So they put him part of that episode. They made him part of that episode. They made him like Darth's chef. So they rip on South Park a little bit with it, which I thought was great.
Oh yeah.
You know, so you got a South Park episode. You got a Nambla episode, all in one, and then they fucking just ream Chef to death, and it was just like, oh my god, they nailed him to the wall.
Yeah, which
so it was kind of sad with it.
All the clips from the old episodes and stuff, which is great because he can't do anything about that because they technically own those voice files.
They do, yeah. They own those voice rights. They can do whatever they want with it.
Yeah.
Which, like, now did obviously Trey Parker and Matt Stone take the high road with that little breakup? Probably not.
It's Matt Stone and Trey Parker. What do you expect?
Exactly. It's Matt Stone and fucking Trey Parker. Would you expect them to take the fucking high road?
No, you don't. You just expect them to retaliate and probably retaliate horribly.
Yeah, and they did it great. They did it wonderfully. I think, like I said, I was a full supporter of the way they ended this show with him. But anyways, then you had a bunch of bit characters that were really awesome as well. You had like the
Big Gay Al,
the bus driving lady. Sit down and shut up. Yep. Oh, she was. They've killed Miss Chokes on Dick. Yeah, they did kill the bus driver off. They've killed. They kill Mr. Slave, or did he leave? I don't know I think he left.
I don't know, but Mr. Slave was hilarious.
Oh man, who didn't do the oh Jesus Christ! Like that voice was so good all the time. I'm like, yes.
He was in a fucking gimp suit.
All the time.
All the time.
The best Mr. Slave episode was where he challenged Paris Hilton to a whore.
Was it Paris Hilton or was it British?
It was Paris Hilton.
Oh, it's too damn funny for an ass off, for a whore off. That's what it was.
Yeah. And eventually he just takes her whole body up his ass, which I thought was fucking hilarious.
Well, I just like the end music. You know, they kind of spoof the Lord of the Rings or the Hobbit. My mistake. They did that Hobbit. Greatest adventure.
Let me wings. Let me wings.
And she's crawling around in his anus. Oh, it's so funny. They even got so far bad as to getting some of their episodes removed from Comedy Central.
Oh,
they were getting death threats from, was it Al Qaeda or they were getting death threats from these people, and they were like, "Fuck it, I don't care." They still played that shit, and it was great. But you know, it just goes to show that there's nothing off limits.
No, and well, not only is there nothing off limits, which is beautiful, but then it's also saying we will equally rip on everybody.
Yeah,
like it's not like we're showing biasness by saying, okay, we're not gonna rip on this or that. It's like, no, guess what, motherfuckers, we're gonna rip on everything, and it's all gonna be funny to us. And if you don't like it, there's the fucking door.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of it. And you know, we'll start with since we're still talking about the show, let's talk about our favorite episode.
Oh man, see that's a hard one. Actually, there's.
Well, I say plural, episodes.
Yeah, because I have a lot of episodes, but I also have a lot of moments from episodes that, like, literally started talking about them in my day-to-day life. Like, but oh God, go ahead.
I'll start off with my all-time favorite episode, and I can't remember the stupid name of the episode, but it was hilarious, and it's probably one of the most known episodes now. And no, I'm not talking about the World of Warcraft episode, even though that is that's my second, but we'll get to that. Is the anime spoof episode. And I can't.
Oh, yes. Love, Fighting Love.
Fighting Love, yeah.
Fighting Love. Because they even did the Japanese, Fighting Love.
Deck my balls. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. Oh my God! The best part about that is when Butters
fighting love. Yeah, I remember that shit.
The best part about that is when Butters actually gets hit in the eye.
That's what I was getting to. The premise of this episode is the kids go to this fair or something, and they buy these ninja weapons like katanas. Kenny gets a ninja star, and just basic ninja weapons. And so they decide to play ninja, and we get to go. I think this is the first episode we get to go in their imagination and see what they look like, and so the show actually kind of goes to like this anime-esque looking feeling, and it looks pretty fucking badass. And there's a scene where they're fighting, and of course Professor Chaos has to show his face, which is Butters. And he shows his face. He's the bad guy at one point, and they get into it a little too much. Kenny throws a ninja star and hits Butters in the fucking eye.
Literally nails him in the eye.
Right in the eye, and the whole thing just stops. He just starts crying. And they're like, "Oh God, we're gonna get." And they don't care about Butters. They care about their weapons being taken away.
They care about getting in trouble with their parents because they had ninja weapons.
Their ninja weapons being taken away. So they dress Butters up as a dog and try and take him to the fucking vet. And throughout the show, they go in and out of character, and it's fucking hilarious.
But the best part, though, is, okay, so when Kenny throws the star and it hits Butters, it's in their imagination. So if you haven't watched the episode, go watch it, because they're in anime form. Fucking, they're all these big badass looking anime characters. And in anime mode, it hits Butters in the eye and it knocks shield off. Then it clips to real life, and it's Butters standing there in a front view. And in the star, you can see that there's something silver sticking off his face. But then he goes, and then he looks at it and then turns his face to the side, and then you can just see how far it is in his fucking eye. And his reaction is so fucking priceless. It's just like, like he's flipping out. It's
everything
so funny.
Stops. Like, they're no longer characters. They're character no more. They're freaking out about Butters having a ninja star in his face. It's so hilarious. That's by far. I think that was the one episode that my dad and I watched. I think Lieutenant Maximus. You guys will hear us talk about him quite a bit. Maximus was there. We all watched this, and my dad starts busting up like because he loves Butters, And he starts busting up at that scene right there, and we start laughing. I mean, we were gonna laugh anyway, but it was hilarious to watch my dad laugh at that particular episode of South Park, because he's not an anime fan, so he doesn't really get the full idea of the show,
the beauty of this episode.
Yeah,
it's so genius.
But he just thought it was funny to watch Butters get hurt.
No, I will say that Butters is a character that really became just one of the best iconic characters in that show.
Oh yeah.
Like, he's so straight and he's so funny. He's always so worried about getting grounded. Oh, jeepers, guys, I'm gonna get grounded. Which comes to one of my favorite episodes. Actually, it's not the favorite. I'll probably dawn on me while I'm talking, but it's one of my favorite episodes, and it's titled Butters Bottom Bitch.
Oh, that's a good one.
And it's when Butters becomes a fucking pimp.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh my god, it's so good. It's so hilarious. Oh, I love Butters, especially when he's all innocent. Oh, it's so good. And the dancing episode too is another good one.
Oh yeah.
You got served episode, then Butters tap dances, but every time he tap dances, everybody fucking dies.
Yeah.
And this song is so hilarious, because a lot of times the people don't know that a lot of the songs in there Matt Stone and Trey Parker do.
Yeah.
And if you listen to his tap dancing song, it sounds like this 40s kind of flapper song, like dun 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 dun. But then if you actually listen to the lyrics, it's "I've got something in my pocket for you.
Yep.
Won't you reach in and grab it for you?" It's just like, oh my god, like you're listening to this song.
It's talking about his dick.
Yeah, he's talking about his dick the whole time. Which
it's
again,
Butters. He's so innocent. Butters. He's so innocent. He doesn't know what he's talking about, really.
Butters is the first one to jerk off when he's watching porn. That was a great episode. Yeah. When he's like, "What's going on down there? What's going on?"
That was the Lord of the Rings episode.
That was the Lord of the Rings episode.
Another one of my favorite episodes. That's actually kind of what started the Stick of Truth.
The Stick of Truth was all based off the Game of Thrones episode.
Well, no, what I'm saying is that the Stick of Truth, because you got to see Cartman dressed as a wizard in the first.
Oh yes, that is the first album.
But that episode. I think it was heavily influenced towards.
Oh, for sure.
But what other episodes? I know the Gay Fish episode. Watching him bash
Kanye West.
Watching him bash on Kanye West gave me a stiffy.
So bashing on Kanye West was amazing, because I fucking hate Kanye West.
So do I. He's worthless.
Like I really can't stand the guy.
Yeah.
However, watching them bash on Carlos Mencia.
Oh shit! Yeah,
gave me such a nerd boner, because for those of you who don't know, and if you don't know, you must have been living under a rock, and we're getting way off topic, but this is it's necessary for the episode. Carlos Mencia, stand-up comedian, everybody knows he had a short-lived episode on a TV show on Comedy Central, yada yada yada, whatever.
Mind of Mencia,
whatever.
Which his mind was mostly stealing other people's shit, but go on.
That is exactly what I'm going to. Carlos Mencia is the biggest material thief in the comedy world. If you don't believe me, there's this great YouTube clip where there's literally Bill Cosby clip from 1980, and then Carlos Mencia.
No, he's not raping anyone.
No. But it's a 15-minute shot for shot stealing of his jokes. It's literally verbatim. Like, he's on stage, and the only thing he does differently is put a Mexican accent to it.
Yep.
Like, that's it. So, and in this episode, when they bash the living fuck out of me, he's like, "I got no dick, man. I've got no dick." Like, and he's just like, "I'm worthless. I can't do comedy. I just steal other people's jokes. I'm worthless, man. I've got no dick." And it's so funny, because that's exactly how I feel about that worthless piece of shit.
Yeah,
like, fuck Carlos Mencia.
No one appreciates a thief, especially one in the comic world where it's pretty much make or break, right? But that's
it's in the comedy world. It's all about being original. It's like
exactly.
You can be inspired by somebody else and kind of go off that niche. Cool, that's fine. You can be inspired. Maybe you hear a guy's good 20-minute stand-up and you're like, "Oh, something similar happened to me," and then you write your own 20-minute and it's a little bit different, but a little bit the same. That's okay. It's understandable, and it's because every comedy does that. I've watched so many comedians who talk about the same shit. You know what I'm saying? We've all seen that. Where they literally talk about almost the same exact thing, and you're like, "Oh, that sounds exactly like this other guy," but it's a little different because it's their own personal experiences. But when you're fucking just literally verbatim memorizing somebody's act and then doing it on stage, you're a fucking piece of shit. And he deserved everything he got in South Park. Yeah. But Kanye West thing, and then Kanye West is, and that's another thing I love about South Park too, is they blast celebrities.
So big time.
Hard.
Big time.
They blast celebrities. Like, no celebrity is sacred, because the sad reality in America, and I don't really want to get too opinionated on this episode, but it's like we hold celebrities to such a high standard. Like, people freak out when they see celebrities. It's like, I don't really give a shit. They're just people. And that's kind of, and I think South Park keeps these people kind of normal, you know?
Yeah.
Like it's
it
like,
kind of takes them down a notch, is what you're saying.
well, yeah, it takes them down a notch because they kind of need it, because around their whole life they were just surrounded by people that are just, oh yeah, suck your dick. Let me just suck your dick because you're a fucking actor or you're a musician. And Kanye West is the biggest fucking perpetrator of them all.
Oh,
like,
Kanye takes his celebrity status to like retarded levels.
But I will say there was one funny story I've ever heard about Kanye West, which was hilarious. It was Dave Chappelle talking about fucking Kanye West, which was hilarious. And he goes, and this is before Kanye. You'll look it up. I don't want to do it verbatim, but it's like, you'll look it up. But the point of the story is, before anybody knew who Kanye West was, he went on the Chappelle show, and he was just hanging out with a bunch of guys. And this is before Kanye West did Through the Wire and got really big and all that stuff like that. But his phone rings, and he's like, yeah, I'm here with the Chappelle show. And Chappelle says all he heard next was, because my life is dope and I do dope shit. And I thought about it, I was like, I would love to end a conversation with, like what? How did you went to the Ren Fair? Why? Because my life is dope and I do dope shit. I'm going to steal something from Kanye West. But other than that, he's a piece of shit. He's a gigantic, like, douche cookie. He's
a douche. We'll leave it at that, because I can say about 1,000 different things about that guy that I just hate. Yeah. I hate that guy. And I think his wife is just as equally worthless as he is, but that's...
Oh, yeah. But yeah, so South Park, like, again, they slam them. Another one of my favorite episodes, which is just, it's still to this day, I can go back and watch it over and over and over, is the World of Warcraft one.
Oh, God, yes. There we go.
So the World of Warcraft, and the reason why I love the World of Warcraft is wasn't really the fact that, like, yeah, World of Warcraft was a big game, but what I loved about it, what I absolutely loved about it, is they really went to the dark sides of being a nerd and showing, like, nerd addiction to video games.
Yes.
And then, again, they took it to the extreme with Cartman taking a shit and his mom holding the thing for him. Oh, that was... And he, like, deuced.
The graphics, the actual... And also, another... We were just talking about this. It showed how far South Park has come, because it went 3D-esque almost when they were playing the game. So... You know, it was actually really cool. They used the graphics from the game. They even had, you know, kind of an endorsement from Blizzard to use whatever, you know, the graphics from the games and stuff. So it was really, really cool to do that, you know? Of course.
See, I didn't know they actually, I didn't know, I never knew that they actually got Blizzard's permission to do the show.
Oh, they wouldn't have been able to use the World of Warcraft name if
that is true.
Get permission. If the graphics alone, because those were the same types of graphics at the time that the game had. You know, that alone would have been a big lawsuit if they didn't have permission and/or their endorsement.
Yeah, that's true. That episode is so fucking funny. Like, oh my God, 4 players rise 50 level. They must have no lives whatsoever.
I was like, the more power you had, the less life you had.
Exactly, and that's very true with video games. Like, the more badass you are, you're just that sad nerd.
Shit bucket.
Shit bucket.
Shit bucket.
Let me ask you something. You got a shit bucket?
You got a shit bucket.
You don't got a shit bucket. You're not playing video games. If you're having sex, that's less kills.
Less kills.
No sex means more kills.
We're talking about Battlefield Friends, guys. If you haven't seen it, I suggest you do.
Yes, it is hilarious. But yeah, so that episode, oh God, there's so many South Park episodes that are just so good. But like one of my favorites was probably one of my favorites because it had one of the moments that showed off a great sub character who still has not to this day got much play in the actual series. It's called Les Tourette's. It's when Cartman pretends to have Tourette's to say whatever he wants.
Yep.
Now, it wasn't so much the episode with Cartman that made that episode super special for me. It was fucking Clyde. So Clyde Clyde was just a very small bit character who was known for just flipping people off for no reason.
Yeah.
Like he would just flip people off. Like people were like, "What the fuck, Clyde?" And he was just like, and he wouldn't say a fucking word. He would just flip you off.
Yeah.
Which in itself was hilarious.
Much for the first few seasons, I believe.
Yeah, but he was always there, and he was always just flipping people off.
Yeah.
But this one showed off just something that, and basically it was like Cartman said something to the effects of like asshole titty sprinkles.
Yeah.
And it clips to Clyde, and Clyde goes, and I'm gonna do my best Clyde impression. He goes, "If I could say asshole titty sprinkles to the counselor, I'd be so happy." And they do it all through the episode. He was like, I would be so happy. But the way they acted, the way he says it, you can tell just how happy like his life is not complete because he can't say the things he wants to say to people. If I could, and I used to do that all the time. I'd be like, my friends would be like, oh, dude, I'm going out, oh, dude, I'm going out to Comic-Con. Oh, if I could go to Comic-Con, I would be so happy.
What about the Awesome-O episode?
I am Awesome-O, the robot, and it's like, oh, that was a good one.
That's a damn good episode. Well, we've talked about several of the episodes that we like. Let's talk about the movie. You're right.
The movie, yeah, Bigger, Larger, and Uncut came out. So South Park's like, this is what like really brought South Park to the forefront. It was Trey, and what's amazing about fun fact about the episode Bigger, the movie Bigger, Longer, and Uncut. There's a lot of amazing things, but this is the first time that we got to see in South Park just how much Matt Stone and Trey Parker love musicals.
Oh yeah, well they've actually done musicals, written musical movies in the past.
Yes, they have, but they weren't as popular.
Yeah, it was called Cannibal the Musical, and it came out in 1993, so it was before South Park.
Oh yeah, way before South Park.
And before that, they had American History. It was a short documentary. Before that, they had The Christmas Spirit, which was, I believe, the first short for South Park. It was.
Yes.
So there you go. That's a short story there. But go ahead. I apologize. I didn't mean to interrupt.
No. But I think this was the start of them being able to do stuff like that, and it made them the money to do the big things. And so much so that for our nerd fans out there who don't know, the Broadway award-winning musical Book of Mormon is made by the same guys who made South Park, Matt Stone and Trey Parker.
Yep.
And that is literally one of the most popular plays in America, and still, I think it's still touring to this day. And it was all because, and I think the start of that, and again, this is just my opinion, I think the start of that was Bigger, Longer, and Uncut because it was a musical.
Yeah.
But my point being is, so Bigger, Longer, and Uncut, which starts off and, like, okay, so the movie trailered, right, back in the day before YouTube and everything, and I saw it and I was like, oh my god, South Park's getting a movie. This is going to be amazing because they're actually going to not have to bleep the fucks, the shits, the piss.
Yeah.
It's going to be unedited. I went and saw the movie, and oh my god, it did not disappoint. The movie was fucking, like, to this day, I can sing you every song from that movie. Like, I bought the album, like, and who doesn't remember, and that's where the famous song, Kyle's Mom is a Bitch, came from.
Yep, that's where it started.
Kyle's Mom is a bitch, she's a big fat bitch, she's the biggest bitch in the whole wide world. On Monday, she's a bitch. On Tuesday, she's a bitch. On Wednesday and Saturday, she's a bitch. And then on Sunday, just to be different, she's super king Kamehameha, biatch.
Yeah.
Like, love that fucking song. Like, and then you got I think Satan. That was his first like big foray because Kenny dies.
I think he came in a little bit before that.
But yeah, no. So the movie was amazing, and it had a huge cast of characters. At that point, it was every character they ever had was in that. And the basic premise of the movie was the apocalypse, was Satan's time to power. Which, who doesn't remember Saddam Hussein fucking Satan?
Oh, that was hilarious. That was one of the funniest scenes in the. Say
Satan. And he pulls out that.
Yeah,
hey, I'm just kidding, guy. It's fake. It's fake.
I'm just kidding.
Oh. It's fake. It's so good. It's so hilarious because, like, of course, Saddam Hussein is butt fucking Satan.
Yeah, you know? and he's like basically like Satan's emotions.
But yeah, so it's about his time, and it's all about Terrence and Phillip and how Kyle's mom went on a crusade to stop Terrence and Phillip because of the dick and fart joke, which was really, when you really, if you're a super fan like I am at South Park, when you really get down to it, it was their response to everything that's been happening to them throughout their show. Because when their show first got boycotted, moms and dads, parents, I think it was called Moms Against South Park or some shit like that. It was those conservative moms who protested fucking South Park and said it was they literally said, that's I think what I
the
think,
devil or something.
No, they said these kind of TV shows like South Park are the bringer of the apocalypse. Yeah. And like they're like the moral degeneration of our children's souls. And they put a lot of those lines into Kyle's mom, and they were just like, fuck this, we're gonna fucking slam this bitch.
Oh, it was
like,
great.
And it was because they got so much flack for their fucking shit, and it's like, dude, don't fucking like it's just entertainment. And it's not, and people think it's a cartoon, so it must be for kids. They've always said this cartoon, not fucking for kids.
Well, it was one of the first, I want to say one of the first, not necessarily the first, but one of the first of this time cartoons that was more adult oriented.
Oh, very much so.
I can't say it was the first because, you know, we had Beavis and Butthead and stuff like that. You know, and it definitely wasn't the first. There's a ton of them that I can't think of right now, but it's one of the pinnacles of this time. At this time of cartoons that are for, you know, I want to say if it wasn't for South Park, we wouldn't have Family Guy, or we wouldn't have you know, stuff like that. So I think it was a big pillar of what we have now.
Big culture. That was a big culture boost.
Yes, it was indeed.
It was a huge culture boost for getting just more show there. Because like let's be honest, like I like cartoons and but not everything's happy ending. Let's get some funny shit out there. Let's talk about like that's why I love that Muhammad episode we're talking about. Like, no, fuck that. Let's actually fucking play this shit. Like, fuck them. Fuck how they feel. Fuck them.
But that movie was pretty damn funny. There was a lot of little jokes in there that, you know, you got to watch a second time to get. And then much later, I think the game came out. Of course, much later.
This was much later, but they prefaced it perfectly with a full like a 3-part episode of like Game of Thrones.
Yeah, it was a
Game of Thrones episode, and then it leads right into the game, which the game is known as South Park: The Stick of Truth.
Yes.
Which, admittedly, even for being a big South Park fan, never played it.
Neither have I, which is why I was hoping Sunrie would be here to talk about it. I never got to play it, and from what I've heard, you get a copy of it if you get the new.
Right now, if you go pre-order the Fractured Butthole, you get a free copy of the South Park Stick of Truth game.
Sunrise says it's hilarious. He says it's an amazing game.
Oh, everybody I've talked to said has given nothing but nerd boners. I will probably pick it up because I will be pre-ordering the Fractured Butthole.
I probably will pre-order it too. So that brings us to the new game coming out, which we've all seen. It's South Park: The Fractured Butthole, like we said. And it looks like it's not going to be medievally like the other game, The Stick of Truth, was. This one's going to be based upon their superhero personas, which is an amazing idea.
Yeah, because who doesn't love Mintberry Crunch?
Oh, fuck.
Mintberry Crunch!
Or the Coon! The Coon! Cartman's superhero is probably the Coon. I'm not even going to get into it. It's just horrible. It's so fucking hilarious.
But he's the raccoon.
Yeah, he's a
raccoon.
He's a raccoon. There's a double entendre there.
There's a huge double entendre, which is great. Nobody's safe from the Coon. But he ends up being the bad guy. Oh, it's so hilarious. It's
just in the commercial, like the preview for it's hilarious because there's all this. It basically they're all sat down at this table and they're talking about. You've seen it, right, Gambit?
Oh yeah, I watched E3.
Okay. They're all sitting down. They're talking about, you know, their game plan, which is basically what we're seeing with all these superhero movies. You know, first so and so is going to have a movie, and then so and so is going to join them in the movie, which leads to their movie, and then this is and then phase 2, and then long story short, they all start arguing about whose movie should be whatever. Some of them leave because they don't like it. They're just going to make their own thing, and it turns out to be kind of a, you know, like Civil War. Oh, you want Civil War? Yeah, Civil War. Fuck you.
Which I'm so excited to just play as, because if they let us play as the kids' imagination of their characters, then we actually get real powers. Oh, yes. So excited about that.
Which is what the Stick of Truth was all about. You got to see them in their imaginary, you know, whatever, and of course, then I'm sure there's points where you saw them and whatever. I mean, I know in the Stick of Truth you can get a facelift and look like
David Hasselhoff. Don't hassle the Hoff.
Sunrie told me about that, and I just started laughing. But anyway, that's the Stick of Truth. Well, anyway, so you can expect stuff like that in this game. Now, I'm gonna give the Fractured Butthole a quick review, and it's gonna be a little nerd review. So it's gonna be 1 out of 10 nerd butters. I'm gonna give it an 8 from what I've seen.
I'm gonna give it a 6 on anticipation, only because like and hear me out on this one. Just because like I didn't play the Stick of Truth. I am a huge South Park fan, but as far as games are concerned, it's not really my cup of tea game-wise.
If it's anything like the Stick of Truth was from what I've seen, the gameplay, it's gonna be great, and it looks like it looks like it's gonna be for it looks like graphics for next gen look wonderful. Everything looks amazing. It looks like of course, it's going to be overdone. When I say that, I mean like it's going to be kids playing, and it's going to be over dramatized, and it's going to be hilarious. So it's going to be Matt and Trey once again at their best. And I'm excited to see what we get.
Well, not only that, but I am excited that they waited a while to bring us a new game, because then it's like they really took their time with it.
Well, they talked about it. And they mentioned, one of the first previews before the game title even came out was talking about Cartman going, yeah, we need to make another one, and it's got to be better. I will settle for nothing but 5 stars on some game rating website. And I remember that, and I told Sunrie, I'm like, Sunrie, there's going to be another Stick of Truth. It's going to be a sequel. And that's what it made it look to be. And Sunrie's like, no, that's just bullshit. There's someone, he didn't believe me at first. That's just hype going around the internet. And I sent him that link, and he goes, there's going to be a fucking sequel. He got all excited. In the long run, it turns out it's not. It doesn't seem like it's a sequel to the Stick of Truth, which is kind of like, that's sad. But we're getting something completely different, and it's still South Park, so it's still amazing. It's still fun. It's still going to be hilarious, In the first one, I guess they brought Chef. In the first game, they brought Chef back
as a zombie chef,
or something along those lines. So it was. I'm going to get the game just so I can get the Stick of Truth with it. So. Because I really play it.
That's one of those things when developers of games really take a nod to their fans and just like, here's the old game, and it's like, yes, you guys get it.
Yeah,
you guys get it
for free.
Because for free, even which is the best part about it. Because it's like so many times you get I time and time again, people are like, well, I've never played the first one or two. Does it really matter? And it's like, kind of. You probably should have played the first one. It's like, well, I don't want to spend another $20 on another game. It's like, now this one is just like, no. You get the free one. You get the first one. You get the free, boom. And you get to enjoy the awesomeness of South Park, which is just...
It's just wonderful. And South Park actually became its own dimension, its own world. It's really grown into its own. And I'm excited to see what this game turns into. So
I'm excited to see the graphics on it, because the South Park Stick of Truth was on Xbox 360 and PS3.
Yeah.
So to be on PS4 and Xbox One, it's like, ooh, good potential here. Good potential here.
Yeah, but it's also the same graphics as the show, with the exception of whatever else they add in. So how hard could it be? You know what I mean? It's going to be like 2D pretty much.
I would like to think they're going to go a little bit more than 2D. I would like to think that.
Well, we'll see. And I'm sure that there's going to be moments where it's going to be more than that, because they do want to blow our minds. And I don't know if they did that in the Stick of Truth. I'm sure they did at one point or two. Again, this is where Sunrie would be handy telling us about the game, which, by the way, we should probably tell you why he's not here.
Yeah. There's a reason. There's a reason.
There's a reason. I don't know what it is, but there's a reason. We won't go too far into it. Let's just say he's unavailable for the moment. He's a lush. But he knows I love him. No homo. All of the homo.
All homo. 100% full blast homo.
Full blast homo.
100% full blast jetpack on homo.
Oh, God. That's a lot of homo.
That's a lot of homo.
But in all seriousness, he couldn't make it tonight, so it's me and Gambit, and it's always fun with Gambit.
Explain to you guys what's going on with myself a little bit. So the video of my punishment has not been loaded simply because work has... adult shit has happened in my life.
Damn adult shit,
and that is basically we lost almost every one of our workers at work. So I'm literally pulling like 60 to 70 hours of work. So when I get home, I don't really feel like putting on a dress and like giving it the college effort on doing this video. Because if I'm gonna do it, like I said in the last podcast, if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it fucking right. Like I'm gonna put my hair down. It's gonna be sexy. It's gonna be awesome. But it's just I really don't. This is even in my day off today. I gotta work tomorrow. It's not. My next day off is until next Saturday, which is
that sucks.
Yeah. So it's not the funnest thing that's happening right now. But it's adult, and welcome to adulthood. And
yeah. It's beautiful being a nerd, but we got adults sometimes, and that's...
Which is the worst part is because I'm missing Denver's Comic-Con, which is really upsetting.
Oh, you didn't go?
No, I didn't go because that's just shows you the level of like how fucked we are at work. I had to work past Comic-Con.
Dude, my ass is crying for you. I am crying for you.
Yeah, I'm actually really pissed. I've got 2 tickets that are just sitting on my table that I have. But that brings me up to my next point, though. The Twitter page is up and running. It is Nerd is New Sexy. I don't know how easy it is to find because Wild said he had some problems finding it.
It's called Sexy Nerd Podcast.
At Sexy Nerd Podcast, guys. Tweet us, hit me up. Now, I personally am running the Twitter page. So again, if you want to be part of my interviews where we ask, for the ladies out there, why is they think Nerd is New Sexy? All those things we've talked about in many other podcasts. If you want to be part of that, you just want to hit me up personally and be like, I love your sexy voice. Let's date. I don't care. Hit me up.
Now, there's not much there now. There eventually. And
stuff.
And things. Lots of stuff
and wonderful things. Stuff and things.
And so if you guys listen and you enjoy listening, definitely hit us up on the Twitter. But with that said and done, I think we are done with this episode. We hope you enjoyed it. As always, you'll see us next week on episode 32.
One more mini boss episode and one big boss episode. That's going to be amazing.
Yeah, 35 and 40. And 40 is going to be the last episode of Season 2. So catch us next week, everybody. We want you to stay sexy and stay nerdy. And what do you got? Anything else to say, Gambit?
That's it. Have a good night.
Good night, everybody.